Have you ever wondered what it was like to date a model? Well, I can tell you all about it. Hey guys, my name's Frankie. I'm 24 years old. This story is about how my girlfriend became a female belly inflation model. I have to admit, I was first attracted to Issa based on her figure. I mean, she was so picture perfect, I couldn't believe it. And not just her looks, it was her personality. She had a great sense of humor, played a mean guitar, and was super kind. Oh, and I forgot to mention, she was a foodie, like me. I'm a chef, and I spent a lot of time in the kitchen whipping up new recipes and trying new fusions. Issa loved to taste test, and I made her everything from steaks to smoothies. Something about the way Issa talked about the moon made me want to marry her. See, Issa had this theory that one day we'd all live on the moon, and when she looked out at the moon, she thought she was looking out at her future home. I decided I was going to propose, and I wanted to do something really romantic. I got her this telescope so she could look closely at the moon. I helped her put it together, and we took it out onto the patio. I slipped a note into the eyepiece, and when she focused on it, my proposal came into view. She was actually surprised, and she accepted the proposal. We moved into a house together, and everything was paradise until belly inflation popped our premarital bubble. I first noticed it one morning at breakfast. Issa said she wasn't feeling well, and then she stood up. She clutched her stomach and said she was feeling bloated. Then, strangely, the bump of her belly began to inflate. She winced as her tummy stretched. But then she said the feeling passed. But I kept my eye on her belly. Over the next few weeks, Issa's stomach seemed to swell a little bit each day. I noticed she changed her style and wore different clothes. Alright, this is the part most people aren't gonna like, but the truth is, her bloating was beginning to bother me. I made salads, smoothies, and soups instead of steaks, but it didn't seem to do anything. I even shed a few pounds, but Issa still had this ever-expanding balloon belly. One day, I thought she was gonna pop, and I asked her what she ate. She got all mad at me, like it was my fault. Not only was her belly swelling, but her personality seemed to be getting worse. But the next night, Issa said she was sorry that she had been so moody lately, and that she had a surprise for me. A surprise? Moody? A big inflated balloon belly? I knew just what this was. Issa was pregnant. Suddenly, everything made sense, and I was relieved and happy. I was going to pretend to be excited. See, I had this hunch that Issa was going to drop the bomb at our engagement dinner. So when she gathered everybody around and said she wanted to make a little speech, I got a little excited and beat her to the chase. "Issa's pregnant," I announced, and then I looked at her to share a smile. It looked like fire was burning in her eyes. She said something to me, but I couldn't hear her over the roar of congratulations. People were clapping, and somebody popped a bottle. And when I put my hand over her belly, she pulled herself away and ran out. It totally killed the vibe, and everybody was looking at me now. I followed after her, of course, and when I caught up with her outside, she said I humiliated her. "What's wrong?" I asked. "I'm not pregnant, you doofus," she said. "My belly's just inflated." "But what was your surprise?" I asked. And she said she needed more money to alter her dress. Surprise! I didn't think I could make it any worse, but I did. I suggested that maybe we should postpone the wedding until she lost enough weight. Well, that didn't go over well, and we kept arguing there in the street until we were interrupted by some random photographer guy. He saw Issa from across the street and dodged a few cars to get to her. "You have the most divine belly I've ever seen," he shouted. I was about to tell the guy to mind his own, but Issa stopped to listen. "Do you mind if I take some pictures?" the photographer asked. I thought he was some kind of creep, but Issa said she didn't mind. By the end of this impromptu photo shoot, she was laughing, and the guy kept saying she had a unique figure. I was tongue-tied in my apology the next day, but Issa said she'd make things real easy on me. She said maybe I was right. Maybe we should postpone the wedding. I asked when she wanted to reschedule the date, and she said indefinitely. Just the night before, I thought I had a little family on the way, but because of my stupid big mouth, it was all gone. Now, I didn't even know if we were going to get married. I had to find a way to make it up to her, but Issa was making herself super busy. It was actually all on account of those photographs. Apparently, they were getting a lot of attention in the modeling world where this Jake guy worked. He started introducing her to all these people he worked with, and everybody thought Issa had the most interesting look. Pure beauty, the look of the century, they said. I'll be honest, I didn't get it exactly, but what did I know about high fashion and the look of tomorrow? But these visionaries saw something in her, and it did wonders for Issa's confidence. It's nice to feel beautiful again, she said when she decided to move to New York for more work. Maybe we could use some time apart, she said, and I thought I had lost her forever. She did fashion show, and her manager created some social accounts to build her persona. Meanwhile, I was feeling pretty lonely. I read this article about her and these other new body models some fashionista writer was talking about. The article focused on the idea that beauty has no shape or size. Issa was calling less and less. When I thought about what I missed, it wasn't her picture-perfect looks. I missed her laugh, her smile, her kindness. I missed her playing guitar in the evenings, and I missed listening to her talk about the moon. I realized how stupid it was to let her belly get in the way. But then one day, I got a call from Issa. She said something was wrong, and she was coming home. When Issa returned, it was without the belly. Her tummy was flat again. Issa didn't know why her stomach changed, but once her belly flattened, the modeling industry turned their backs on her. She no longer had that special something, they said. I was glad to have her back, and I told her how much I missed her. We talked about the wedding some, but she was still too hurt to commit to a date. In the meantime, all I could do is treat her like a queen. The next morning, I whipped up her favorite smoothie for breakfast. And then it happened again. About 30 minutes after she finished the smoothie, her belly began to inflate. She winced in pain, and her belly grew like there was some kind of alien in there. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The smoothie, she said. That's it. She was excited and immediately wanted to leave again for New York. She said I could come with her. I would make her smoothies, and she would model. But I wasn't so sure. Maybe we should talk to a doctor before... She interrupted me and accused me of being jealous. She said I was trying to keep her down. I tried to calm her, but Issa wouldn't listen. She said that she'd make her own smoothies and grabbed all the ingredients before she left. I couldn't believe what her belly inflation had done to her. I researched all the ingredients in the smoothie, and I realized that there could be an allergy involved. I wanted to help her, but I couldn't watch her make herself sick just to feel beautiful. I couldn't help but blame myself for making her self-conscious about her body, and I had to do something to stop it. So I packed my bags and caught a red-eye to New York. I was following Issa online, and she posted that she would be at some famous studio the next day for a photo shoot. I didn't even know where it was or if they'd let me in, but I had to try. When I found the place, I snuck by security and started looking through all the photo spaces. Finally, I found her, and I interrupted the shoot. Issa was embarrassed at first, but I had to tell her how beautiful she was to me. You don't need a legion of followers to tell you that you're beautiful and special. Belly, no belly, she was just as beautiful. I told her beauty came from inside, and no amount of weight gain or wrinkles could ever change that. Please never hurt yourself to look a certain way for others, I pleaded. You shouldn't do it for me, or for them. But she didn't say anything. She just stared at me. So I got out of there. One thing I learned about beauty is that it's what's on the inside that counts. The saying goes that beauty is only skin deep, and it's something so easy to forget. Real beauty comes from character and kindness. I figured she'd hate me more after humiliating her in public again. But she found me out on the street hailing a cab. What you said in there meant the world to me. And then she leapt into my arms and kissed me. Issa and I finally settled on a new date for the wedding, and I worked up a new smoothie recipe that kept us both healthy. What does beauty mean to you? Tell us about it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden wisdom stories. Remember, When you share our stories, you're sharing wisdom.